I have two options I like to offer with restorative fish. You can either keep your seat down on the mat and drape your upper body and head all the way down, or you can actually sit on the edge of the bolster and put most of your body on the bolster, starting with the lower back. And then if you do that, your head is likely to hang down a little bit on the top. So just choose whichever of these options seems to speak to you this evening, feels best on your back and neck. And I'm just going to drop in for a few minutes and start to find our center. I have a couple of notes to share with you, so you go ahead and keep laying there, and I'm going to look at these notes. This week's practice. This week's practice is drawing inspiration from the next of the yamas in our study of the yamas from the Yoga Sutras. And we're up to the fourth. Is that the fourth? Which one was it? Last week was Brahmacharya. This week is Aparagaha. That's the fifth, actually. And Aparagaha is the yama, the principle of, sometimes it is, very often it is translated to mean non-hoarding. Non-hoarding meaning gathering up things around you, and the idea that we want to shun excess. So excess can be translated in terms of material things, or it can be translated in terms of excessive thoughts, clutter of the mind, and really the need to simplify your life. And there's a beautiful quote by Lao Tzu that I put in my newsletter this week that I think is a beautiful quote related to Aparagaha. And he writes, "We shape the clay into a pot, but it is the emptiness inside that holds whatever we want." And last week we talked about spaciousness, and we talked about finding space in the body and finding space in the mind, and I think that's a beautiful segue into this week's inspiration of Aparagaha. Aparagaha, or non-hoarding, is the art of appreciating emptiness in one's life. But before we can learn to appreciate emptiness, we must learn to let go. On the mat, we practice Aparagaha by letting go of our expectations and letting go the concerns of the day. So, as we're starting these first few minutes of each practice, and I'm suggesting that you find your breath and start to drop into your center. The center is the space where you can begin to carve out spaciousness. And in some translations it's referred to as emptiness, but I think spaciousness is a really nice way to think about where we're trying to go with our mental state. So if you can start to release the thoughts of the day, all of the Zoom meetings, all of the calls, all of the calls for support, all of the business dealings, emails, follow-up meetings. Just start to see if those can drain off of your body and release them so that they don't penetrate this beautiful, spacious bubble. Just listen to your breath. Appreciate the this pathway into silence and spaciousness. This restorative fish pose is a really nice manifestation of this principle, because you can feel your heart lifting and you can almost feel stressful ideas and thoughts spreading outward from your body, and feeling the light and space grow within. Stop speaking for just a couple of minutes and let you appreciate the silence and the space. Breaths right here. Soft and smooth. Opening the heart space, enjoying the fresh energy coming into your lungs. The energy of peace, of calm. Exhalation. Go ahead and bring your arms up. Cross them over your body and allow your hands to just fall on either side of the opposite side of the belt bolster. Just let the weight of your arms fall down on top of your chest. Feel your fingers as they're being pulled down to the earth. Relax your arms and shoulders. Inhale, bring your arms straight up and then down by your side. Let's bend the knees and bring the soles of the feet to the mat. We're going to roll gently off of the bolster, and you can press that off to the side. You don't need it until the end. And then go ahead and roll all the way back down on your mat. Now feel the full spine as it places down on the mat, spreads out. Take a little pelvic tilt and feel your lumbar spine get a little massage as you press it down. Take breath in, release, and let your shoulders drop heavily down. Take that next breath in, bring the pelvic tilt up, and press down through your feet. Just energize the arches of your feet and maybe lift the hips ever so slightly. Exhale and release the lower back down. Inhale, this time take a bigger pelvic tilt, press the pubic bone up toward the ceiling, and then press down through the feet, lift your hips up higher. Feel the quads engage, feel the space underneath your glutes. Take a breath here as your knees press forward toward the front of the mat, and then exhale, come down one vertebra at a time and roll to the tip of the tailbone. This time, inhale up, press up to bridge pose, and lift your arms straight up, fingers reaching toward the ceiling. Lift your shoulders and arms, reach your fingers up toward the sky. And then exhale, roll everything down to a neutral spine. Let's lift the right foot off the mat. Cross the ankle on the top of the left thigh. Fingers are going to come behind the left thigh. Lift your left leg up. Just interlace your fingers and let the left foot hang down. Just nice and just limp. And then gently press your right knee toward the front of the mat. Just feel a little opening in the hip here. Nice deep breath in. Release. You may want to see if you can hug your whole shin in and to interlace your fingers in front of your shin. But if that's too intense, just bring them back under the thigh. One more breath here. Supine pigeon pose. And then bring your left foot all the way down. Arms are going to come into a T off the shoulder, and we're going to roll over onto the left hip and bring the right foot down toward the earth. Little pelvic twist. Right shoulder stays planted on the mat. Keep your neck looking straight up. And if you like, you can take your left hand to the outside of your right thigh and guide the thigh down toward the floor. Just a really gentle twist here. Release the weight of the right leg down. Let go of all that is heavy today. Come back up to center. Place the right foot down on the mat. Cross left ankle over the top of the right thigh. And then you can interlace your hands behind the right thigh, lifting the right foot off the mat. Just ease into this first hip opener. Pressing the left hip forward only insofar as you feel that edge of your resistance. Breathe into the edge. Relax and drop the right foot down. Just release that foot all the way. Let it be limp. And if you feel comfortable, you can interlace your hands in front of the right shin. But if that's too intense, once again, go back to that first position. Long, smooth breath, which each exhalation this evening, I want you to imagine letting go of any heaviness within. Bring the right foot down on the mat, arms come into a T off the shoulder, and drop the left foot as you just roll over on the right hip. My hips are tight today. So much standing and walking lately that they need a little release. If you wish, you can take your right hand, place it on top of the left thigh, and guide that thigh down toward the earth. This will intensify the twist. Go slowly, go gently. Breathe and relax. Right, let go of the thigh, roll back up to the starting position, and bring your left foot down. Just setting up in a neutral spine once again. Let's lift both feet up toward the ceiling. Come to happy baby and slide your hands up both legs, reaching for your shin, your ankle, or the outside of your feet. Let the knees drop down. Feel the entire spine connecting with the earth. Once again, breathe and release. What are you holding today that does not serve? Is it fear? Is it worry? Is it stress? Let it roll right off of you during this hour of sanctuary. And then let's bring the feet together. Bring them down, and you can slowly roll to one side and bring yourself up to a seated position. So we're going to come into Upavista Konasana, which is a wide leg seated position. So without really stretching out the hamstrings much, this doesn't have to be super wide. Just find a place that seems to fit your body at the present time. And we're going to bring the hands forward, and you're just going to gently walk the hands forward until you find a place where you can come down and rest. It's okay if your back rounds here. We're using this in a little bit more of a yin fashion, which means that we're finding a place that we can sustain for a little bit longer. And you can just let your head drop down once the forearms have come down to the floor. If you wish, and that's too intense to come on the forearms, you can build a support with the blocks. So you don't have to come all the way to the floor if that's too much. You can use one block or two. I want your head to drop down and just feel the release coming on the back of the neck. Imagine your breath moving up through the spine, one vertebra at a time, rolling up and over the crown and then dropping down into the earth once again. Your legs are calm. Release and relax. We'll take 5 breaths here. Full breath. Next inhalation, gently walk your fingers back. Allow your torso to rise all the way up. All right, we're going to take the right hand and slide it down the top of the right shin. Take the left arm up. Let's stretch it over the ear and start to slide your hand down the shin and fold the left arm over your ear. See if you can keep that arm a little bit straight, and then roll the left shoulder back. So now you're going to feel a side stretch. Breathe all the way from fingertips down to the hip. come up and we'll go on the opposite side. So right arm reaches up this time. Lift up out of your armpit and then start to slide the left hand down. Turn and slightly gaze upward and roll the right shoulder back. Breathe and release. Feel the intervertebral discs open up. The muscles in between each of the ribs getting a little stretch. One more. Very nice. And then come all the way up. Bring your feet back down on the mat. Keep your knees nice and wide. Hands are going to come behind your hips and just rock your knees back and forth. Get a little bit of motion in those hips and legs. And then we'll come on up and we're going to come into Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. We're going to introduce a little twist here. So bring your legs roughly hip distance apart. We're going to sit up nice and tall. Inhale up. This time we are going to keep the back flat. As we come forward, draw your head toward your feet. And then just stop wherever your first point of resistance is. Flex your feet and feel the stretch now coming along the hamstrings and the Achilles. With each breath in, slightly lift your heart. With each breath out, draw your heart forward toward your feet. As you continue this pattern, you'll eventually come down a little at a time. Inhale, create spaciousness. Exhale, and release what does not serve. One more breath here. And on your next inhalation, come on up. We're going to take the left hand and reach it across the body, and you're going to reach that left hand down toward your right shin, or maybe all the way to the foot. Bring your right arm into a T off the shoulder, and then start to come into a twist, gazing backward toward the back of your mat, as long as that doesn't hurt your neck. Your thumb is up. Reach and stretch right fingers all the way to the back. Breathe, and then bring that right arm back forward. This time we'll switch hands. Right hand is going to reach forward to the outside of the left ankle, or maybe the foot. Left arm comes into a T off the shoulder first. Your back is flat, and then we're going to twist the left arm toward the back. Find the edge of your resistance, which could be very different on one side compared to the other. Mine definitely is. I have more flexibility on that first side. I can't twist quite as far on the left. It's okay. Our bodies are not symmetrical. One more breath. Inhale and come back around to center. Take the left foot and bring it to the inner right thigh. We're going to inhale. Arms are going to reach up. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale. Left hand is going to place down next to your left hip. Lift the right arm up. Stretch and extend through the body. Circle that right arm around. Come back to your seat and forward fold. Inhale, come up and switch legs. Right foot comes into inner left thigh. This is almost like a sitting tree pose. Arms reach up. We're going to fold forward first. Exhale, drawing the heart down and toward the front of the foot. One breath in, release a little further. Inhale, slide the hands back. Right hand comes down, left arm reaches up, extend. Really stretch from left ankle all the way through your left fingers. Beautiful. Circle that left arm around, come down to your seat, and one more time, fold. Inhale, come back up, and let's come meet in tabletop hands and knees position. I'm going to just do a few cat-cows. Make sure the back is feeling nice and limber. So come into your tabletop position and then inhale deeply. Drop your belly down. Let your hips widen and splay to the sides. Gaze forward for cow tilt. Exhale, bring your chin all the way in and down. Reach your chin to the chest. Press the back of the heart up. Feel your shoulder blades slide to the side of the body. Inhale deeply for cow. Exhale into cat. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. One more time through. Cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale to a neutral spine. Let's curl the toes up and we're going to lift the knees off the mat. Press back to Adho Mukha Shavasana. Downward facing dog. Really get some length through the spine here. Inhale, find spaciousness. Exhale and release anything that does not serve. Negative thoughts, worries, stresses, just let it roll out the breath. From our downward facing dog, we're going to come forward momentarily into a plank. So inhale as you come forward, and then exhale, drop those knees down, press back to child's pose. Inhale, come on forward to hands and knees, and exhale, lower the body all the way down on the belly. Inhale, we're going to press up to a little baby cobra. Just pressing the shoulders back, lifting the heart, getting a little back bend, tiny little gentle cobra. And then exhale, release down. Inhale, press up and back. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to go through that little sequence faster with the breath this time, so we're going to do it 2 more times. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, knees down, press back to child. Inhale, rock forward, hands and knees. Exhale, lower the body down. Inhale, press up to cobra. Exhale, release down. Inhale, press up and back. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more time through, just like that. Inhale to plank. Exhale, knees down. Press back to child. Inhale, come forward, hands and knees. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, next breath up. Cobra. Exhale, release. And one more time. Inhale, press up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Stay here for one additional breath. Nice and deep all the way up the spine. Let it out and release. Let's walk the feet forward. Come onto the front of the mat and let the head hang down in Uttanasana, forward fold. Go ahead and just soften your knees here and sway back and forth. Let the head just hang gently Let the weight of the world roll right off. So good. And then come back to a still position. We'll slide the hands up the shins, flatten out the back, loop your shoulders back and down, and reach through the crown of the head. Come to Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, hinging forward, come into forward fold once again. This time we'll come all the way up. Press down through your feet, lift up, arms reach up and overhead. Exhale, bring the arms down halfway into a goddess formation. Elbows and shoulders are the same height. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, bring the forearms together, round the back, and then bend your knees and round all the way down. Keep your knees bent, round your back as you come up. Your arms are still pressed together. Inhale as you come to the top, and then open back into those goddess arms. Heart is lifted. Exhale, round your back, bring the forearms together. Bend your knees and lower down. Inhale, round up. So it's kind of a waving action with the breath and your spine. One more time through, arms come together in the front. And just bend softly round as you come down. And then inhale, bend and round as you come up. Open those arms wide. And then bring them down by your side. Let's roll the shoulders forward and back. Forward and back. Forward and back. Bring the elbows back. Roll your shoulder blades forward. Draw them back. Roll forward. Draw back and roll forward. Bring your arms down by your side. Take one breath in stillness and mountain pose Tadasana. Close your eyes for just a moment and really connect to the earth as the energy comes up through the ground into your mat and right into your feet, into your body. Root and feel secure. Feel your groundedness. Right. Open your eyes, lift your arms up. Reach them overhead. Exhale, gently fall forward. Forward fold, not fall. You know what I mean. Reach forward. Inhale, slide your hands up. Come into half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and forward fold. We're going to step back with our left foot. Come into a low lunge. We're not going to do a lot of lunges and stuff tonight, but we're going to start here, and then we're going to walk the hands around to the left side. So coming into a wide leg forward fold, our feet are now parallel to the ends of the mat. Walk your fingers forward a few inches so you can really lengthen through the spine. Press your tailbone back. Lift up with your thigh muscles, your quadriceps. Lift them up so that you feel the engagement through the core and the support. Keep that support in going. And then bend your elbows back and start to lower your head down. But keep lifting up through the upper thighs. Inhale deeply. Straighten your arms. Lengthen and come forward. Exhale. Bring the head down. Inhale, lengthen and come forward. Plant your left hand underneath your face. Right arm comes out to the side and come into your twist. Using the heart and torso to lead the way, fingers coming last. A nice long breath here. If you like, you can take your right hand by your lower back and maybe bring your fingers around to the crease in your left thigh. This is going to open your right shoulder a little bit more widely. If that creates any challenge, then just go back to the initial position. Nice deep breath. All right, bring the arm straight back up and then swing it down, forward fold. Walk your hands back around to the front. Dip into that front right foot. And then slide the foot back, come into downward facing dog. We're going to walk the hands backward toward the feet. So just gently walk your hands a little at a time, coming into a forward fold at the back of your mat. As you arrive, slide your hands up your shins, lengthen through the spine. Exhale and fall. Inhale this time, come all the way up. Reach those arms up and overhead. Exhale, right hand is going to come to the right side. Left arm reaches up. And then inhale as you reach, but exhale, come into a crescent moon. Your left arm reaching over your ear. Right fingers are reaching down toward the ground. Deep breath here. Inhale, bring both arms straight up. Exhale, left hand comes down by the side. Inhale, reach right arm up and then release it over the ear the other direction. Take your time, find the space within. Let your body adjust. Give it space and time. Inhale, bring both arms up. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, come up to fingertips or a half lift. Exhale and fold. Walk the hands back, forward. Come into downward facing dog once again. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, drop the knees down, press back to child. Inhale, come back to tabletop, and then lower down all the way on the belly. Press up to a nice sweet cobra. Lift your heart. Exhale, release down. Inhale, press up and back, downward facing dog. We'll bring the left foot forward now between the hands, coming into a low runner's lunge. Again, we're just using this as a transition to move the hands around to the right side of the mat this time. Once you've moved your hands around, you'll be in a wide leg forward fold toward the right side. The outer edges of your feet are parallel to the outside of your mat. Remember to lift those quadriceps, feel the support coming up through the upper thighs. Walk your hands slightly forward so you really lengthen through the spine. Act as though someone's pulling your head and your tail in opposite directions. And just imagine that you can feel those spaces open up. Spaces for oxygen and blood flow. Nourishment for the back and the discs. And then holding all of that in place with your legs, go ahead and gently bend your elbows back, and you can drop the head down a little bit lower. Inhale, lift up and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale and lengthen. And this time we're going to take the right hand underneath the face. We're going to bring the left arm into a T off the shoulder and then start your twist to the left. Heart and belly lifting first. Shoulder arm and fingers reaching last. Breathe here. We're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. And as before, you have an option. You can take that raised arm, reach the back of the hand around to the lower back, lift the shoulder maybe a little bit more, perhaps even hook your fingers into the crease at your thigh. Nice deep breath. Release the hand. You can bring it back up and then slowly unwind that left hand. Bring it back down to the earth. We're going to walk the hands around to the front once again, dipping back into the left leg for the low lunge. And then we'll slide the left leg back to downward facing dog. We're going to walk the hands backwards just as we did before. So just tiptoe the hands all the way back to your feet. Forward fold when you arrive. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach the arms up and overhead. This time interlace the fingers above your head and then press the palms up to the ceiling. So you'll flip them around so that the palms are actually reaching up. Lift up out of both arms, open up under the armpits. And then we're going to fold over to the right to begin. So I have both arms that are reaching the same direction, creating that side opener, the lateral stretch. Keep pressing through the palms, lengthen down through your tailbone. Make sure your legs are nice and steady. Then inhale, come up to center, and we're going to reach the opposite direction. So it's important when we're doing these side stretches that we're actually lifting through both sides of the body. Sometimes there's a tendency to just lift through the side that is getting the stretch, but we want to lift through both sides so we really extend this as far as we can. One more deep breath in, create that spaciousness. Exhale, release. Bring those arms back up to center. Release your fingers and let's forward fold. Woo, let everything fall down. Inhale, slide up to half lift. Exhale, hands down, forward fold. Walk your hands back forward. Come to downward facing dog. Nice long extension through the down dog. Hips are really lifting high now because we've created all kinds of space in the spine. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, knees down. Press back, extended child. Stay here for 3 full breaths. Nice and deep and long. Not rushing anything in this practice tonight. Forward to hands and knees. And come down and do a couple of seated postures. So extend the legs down the mat. And we're going to take the right leg up, coming into Ardha Matsyendrasana. We're going to cross the right foot over the left knee. And then from here, take the left arm, bring it over the right thigh if you can. Right arm is going to come behind the back. Press down into your fingers. Lift up through that long, spacious spine. And then as you exhale, we can start to twist toward the right. You may be able to eventually look back over your right shoulder. If you can't go that far, it's okay. Find your edge. Respect your edge. And breathe into it. One more breath. Inhale, come back to center, and let's switch legs. Right leg extends, left leg crosses over. Find your seat, your foundation first, and then right arm crosses over the left, so my palm is up, left arm is coming behind the hip. Gently press down into the left hand. Start to twist through the belly and heart. And then eventually, your shoulders and maybe your neck can get involved, but they come last. Deep breath here. Bringing out all the stuff that needs to be cleansed from the body. That's what these twists are very good at. One more. Nice. And now come back, unwind. And we're going to bring the bolster back in for our next seated posture. We're going to come into a deer pose using the bolster. So bringing us into deer, I've got if you're mirroring me, this would be your right leg forward, bolsters on the right. My shin is parallel to the end of my mat, the long end of my mat, and I have a little space between my foot and my knee. So I'm going to turn my body first toward this bolster and then lift up through my spine and then start to edge my belly and torso down and just drape the body right over the bolster. And you will feel the stretch in the left hip and the glute and maybe a little bit in the right piriformis. And if this feels all right, you can just release all the way down. Let your body drape and let that bolster support you, just as we do in restorative practice. Time to let go. Let go of expectations. Easier life would be if we didn't have all of those things we think we have to accomplish. So we really don't. All we have to do is appreciate where we are each moment of the day. Breathe and be grateful. That each subsequent moment will take care of itself. Three more breaths right here. legs around. Set the bolster up on the opposite side. And we'll do that same posture toward the left. So remember to lift up, create the space, then begin your twist, and then start to drape over and relax. Breaths on this side. Yourself up and come all the way back up. And we're going to end this evening with making a little incline and creating legs up. So we can really find a nice bit of rest. So this is going to be our final posture. And we're just going to bring those legs up the bolster. If you prefer to lay all the way flat, feel free. Since I was incorporating a little bit of restorative, I thought these last couple might be nice with this bolster. Now you can just let go. These inversion poses give your heart some rest. They reverse the gravitational pull of blood flow to make it easier for your heart. I want you to see if you can visualize that spaciousness around you. Come back to the visualization of that opening quote by Lao Tzu. Thinking about your body as a vessel. Vessel with empty space rather than clutter. Empty space that allows you to ease into whatever version of yourself you would like to be. Whatever is most natural, is most at home for you and your soul. yourself drop into this space and notice how calm and how peaceful it can be. Yourself up. Bring the arms up, reach them overhead. Feel the space between your hands and then draw them together. Then coming down to the heart center. Light in me is honored and grateful always. the light within you as well. Thank you so much for practicing with me this evening. Hope you feel peaceful, calm, and wonderful the rest of the evening. Thank you so much, and namaste. Thank you. You're welcome. Hope you liked that little gentle flow tonight. Yeah.